This is looking good. Your Excel sheet's looking good.
Yes, so this is the outcome of dental service,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the outcome of oral health behaviors.
Okay,
And
great. So there's much less on oral health behavior.
yes.
Okay.
And for the result of oral health behavior, this is going to be the result.
So you think your subsections, you're going to organize by outcome. You're going to have some on oral health behavior, and then you're going to have the other on access to care.
Yes.
Great. And then within it, what other patterns are you seeing?
So I saw it from geographical setting, so from country. So there are 4 from Iran and 1 from the Netherlands and then 2 from Japan.
Okay. I mean, one thing that jumps out is almost all these studies are cross-sectional. Seems like there's a real need to get some longitudinal studies.
There is 1 longitudinal study.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about on this topic, there's just 1 longitudinal study. I mean, I think it also means, Cornelia, almost certainly your studies, we're going to want to be longitudinal.
Mm-hmm. But how do we collect longitudinal data?
But no, we're going to find what longitudinal data sets exist.
Uh-huh.
So look, just put in a note for yourself in the conclusion already that's a weakness.
For the conclusion.
Yeah, already start making your conclusion section. And just because you're going to have that section on study limitations, create your study limitation section. Yeah, exactly. Longitudinal studies for oral health preventive behaviors. And just note there was only one study in children, or I think it was in children in Iran. Okay, great.
Yeah, and so, and most of them in Iran, they investigate social capital based on social network. So it's like they measure the brushing level of the students.
Uh-huh.
Wait, let me see. So they measure the friendship network to brushing level, and then social network variable, their friends average frequency brushing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so most of them found that it's positive.
Yep.
So I think this is my result gonna look
so let
like.
me see. 5 studies, 3 were cut. Yeah. Why did you say all 5 studies found a positive? I thought some found no association.
Between at least social capital measure. This is what Courtney suggests.
Okay. But wait, I don't understand. Go back to your Excel. These are these the same study?
No, only one that is the same study.
Okay, but okay, I'm saying you had 2 no association.
Yeah, this is flossing, for flossing, not for
toothbrushing.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so go back and then just say there was you need to say somewhere there most studies were about toothbrushing. There was only 1 study about flossing and it found no association. Yeah, that's a separate paragraph.
This one.
Yeah, that's a separate paragraph. And we want to say a little bit more about that study. So in general, the goal, Cornelia, the goal in this write-up, when you describe the studies, is to describe the studies in such a way that the reader knows, doesn't have to go look at the study. The reader knows what that study did and what it found. So we need to kind of cook this a bit more. So let's do this as an example. That study about flossing frequency, describe that study here. You're going to have a whole paragraph just about that because it's the only one on flossing.
Mhm. But the study also examined toothbrushing frequency, so they are the same study.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Here, let me remote control. Let me show you what I mean.
Mhm.
Okay. So one, so here you're going to talk about toothbrushing, okay? 5 studies, and so preventive. So let's go ahead and change this. This needs to be italicized, not underlined. Oral health preventative behaviors, toothbrushing and flossing. And get this, not bold, is it? Okay. So, 6 studies investigated preventative the association of social capital with preventative behaviors. And then I think we say, right, because this is what the category is. 5 focused on a toothbrushing. No, say all
of them are 5.
Focused, exact. Oh, there's only 5.
Yeah, 5.
So 5 of the how many?
For the whole studies or just oral health preventive behaviors?
The whole study.
32.
5 of the 32 studies investigated association with preventative behaviors. All focused on toothbrushing, and 1 also included flossing. 3 were conducted in, and this is all fine, all okay, all report report a positive association between. So I think we need to say a little bit more about these studies. So 5 studies, I'll focus on. Okay, so we need to say a little bit more because the reader doesn't really know what these studies did. So I think we need to say, okay, so, right, 1 study from Iran was longitudinal and investigated the frequency of brushing among female students aged X to Y. Investigated how investigated what was it? It was friendship effects or something.
Yes. So that their friend frequency brushing.
Investigated the impact of how one's friends toothbrushing behavior influenced the frequency of one's own frequency of toothbrushing among female students. Okay, that's not clear, but you see how this is gonna, when we need to add the citation to the study by X and colleagues, year was longitudinal, was the other 4 studies were cross-sectional. And then what did it say? It found XXX. So you see, this starts to unpack it a bit. and say a little bit more and give us a little more detail of what they did, what they found.
So it's like describing each study.
Yeah, you can really go through. I think you have enough space too. It's not each study, but the main studies that represent. So you have your subcategory of oral health preventive behaviors. We're gonna say, what are the main headline findings? Then let's talk about, we're gonna talk about it, say this case, we're gonna do a sub-organization by longitudinal and by cross-sectional.
Uh-huh.
And then here, and then say, all reported at least one social capital measures and toothbrushing or flossing behavior. So I think you also want to mention there was one study that didn't find an association.
But for that paragraph, social capital measure and toothbrushing or flossing behavior, for the flossing there is no association. So
Okay, so the one that was no association, so for and toothbrushing, so they all found a positive between toothbrushing. See, we can be more precise. Does that make sense, Cornelia?
yes.
Okay, so this is much more precise than what we said before. So the one study from Iran, by this we can make this more precise, is this. The other 4 studies were cross-sectional. And let's explain a little bit about them. So say a little bit more. So here, I think this is also useful. And one measure of toothbrushing behavior. And you can put it here, including age at which toothbrushing was initiated. What is supervised toothbrushing?
So the parents supervise their children's toothbrushing frequency.
Supervision. I thought the main thing was frequency of toothbrushing.
Yeah, but that study also investigated the other outcomes. So there are 4 outcomes that they examine in that study.
Oh, okay. So the 4 outcomes were, this is a little clunky, but toothbrushing. So these are the 4 outcomes.
Yes, but for the toothbrushing frequency, they do not find association for that one study.
For that one study, but here we're kind of giving a headline overview what's there. And here we're giving a headline overview of the outcomes. I think this should be its own sentence. The specific measures of toothbrushing behaviors varied, but included one of the following. Okay.
Or do you think we don't need to extract the information of parental supervision and age at which toothbrushing started?
I think I wanted to put this in the topic sentence, but because it's a little clearer, but it's okay. Sorry, Cornelia, I missed that. I was looking at something. I was looking at that topic sentence. What were you saying?
So do you think we need to extract that information, age at which toothbrushing initiated, parental supervision, and parental toothbrushing frequency? Do you think we need to extract that information or just extract the outcome of toothbrushing frequency from that one study?
I think that's okay, but why are you including these other ones?
Yeah, that's what I am confused.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I
think?
mean, I think why don't you just focus on toothbrushing frequency? I don't think you need all these outcomes, but that's okay. Let's just leave it for now, and you can report it here in your table. Your table's fine because you've reported the main positive finding. So the other 4 studies were cross-sectional. Explain a little bit about them here. This is good. And I want you to explain the one. So this one, was it the longitudinal study or which study was it?
Cross-sectional.
It was the cross-sectional. Finally, only one study investigated frequency of flossing in who? In Iran site. It found no association of X with flossing behavior. When the investigated process in only one study, it found no social. Yeah, exactly. So this needs to be in there as well. But you see, Cornelia, how this is giving us the reader. So the goal of the systematic review is readers go to systematic review and like, oh, I see all the literature, all like neatly laid out at my fingertips. So that they don't have to go back and read the study to understand what the studies did and the main things the studies did and found.
Mm-hmm. And I also organize based on the country themselves. So this is from the country. So in Japan itself is mixed between structural and
so yeah, so let's go up. That's good. Hang on, this is kind of misplaced. Let me move this. Up to here, and let's thread that in. So now we're going to go through 3. So he's already said this, the 3 were Kentucky and Iran, 2 were in high countries. So we're going to talk about the study from Iran because that's longitudinal. I found this. So the other 2 studies are here. Two studies from Iran. So you just need to find a way to get all this detail in here. So all studies, I think this is a good point. So I think we have enough for a separate paragraph. The studies varied in how they measured social capital and toothbrushing outcomes. Right. All study measures this. Okay, so they're the individual level, but what measures, but included varying actual measures of social capital, including X for toothbrushing, preventive behaviors. Most studies used toothbrushing frequency, but additionally included, but several additionally included these. So this is even clearer. You see each pass, we're just getting a little bit clearer. I think there was enough to do a dedicated paragraph on the measurements.
Mm-hmm.
So we've now said this. The family functioning, I don't know about that. I don't think we need to confuse that. So in Iran, all 3 studies. So yeah, you've organized it by country, and that's okay. I think I think the bigger category than the country specifically is going to be the longitudinal and cross-sectional. So I'm just tweaking. You could perfectly well go country by country, but I think it's easier to say 5 studies looked at toothbrushing and 1 included flossing. Let's do it here. This is we had a total of 5 of the 32. We talk about the measure of the studies, we talk about the longitudinal, then we talk about the cross-sectional, and as we talk about the cross-sectional, then we go through country by country. So 2 studies from Iran did X and found Y. And then in the Netherlands, this is nice. This is nice. So this is nice. This one you've done more to explain what it was. We need to have the citations in here. So we really need to know more about the population specifically they looked at. You see, we need much more detail here. because I'm the reader. I'm like, well, okay, are you looking at what age are the children? What are these variables? We haven't really said what they were, so we need to actually have that here, so we don't have to then re-explain it.
Because it's measured like a family organization, and then family responsiveness and partner relationship, something like that.
So yeah, Cornelia, go in and we'll go in and include that. So I want you to come back here. So I want to hand back over to you. Go ahead and fill in what the different social capital. So I want you to do this. Fill in the social capital measures here, and then let's have a go. Let's try to let's spend our time and fill out these sections. Okay. So let's start by filling in the social capital measures.
So this is social network, and then family functioning.
Okay. And those were the only ones for all the studies. Let's go back and look at the Excel. Yeah, because they had this also a cognitive dimension of social capital. See, so these are quite different.
So this is what they measure social capital.
So I want to see all those described. There, the definition of social capital. Okay, we got several. So
this is, yeah.
Okay, Cornelia, let me grab it again for a second. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take these. I'm just gonna copy this into our Word document for a second. Is it here? Oh no. Why are the colors are changing for some reason. Why are the colors changing? So this is a long sentence, so let's do this. All studies, however, the actual measures differed. We need to unpack this a bit. So let's look. Okay, 3 studies looked at the friendship networks frequency or level of toothbrushing as its measure of social capital. One study investigated 4 peer social network factors, specifically including the number of close friends, frequency of meeting friends, club membership, and the quality of peer groups. Finally, another study. So I think we need to change this again based on what they did say. There was considerable heterogeneity in how studies measured both social capital and toothbrushing outcomes. So you see, I've said this a little bit stronger, not just that they vary, but they varied considerably. This is quite different. All studies measured either from children. 3. So we don't need to say the 5 again because we've kind of said that at the top. 3 studies. One study investigated. I think the rule is below 8 spelled out. So I'm just changing this again. 4 peer social network factors specifically included in the relationship. Another study focused on family functioning variables, including responsiveness, communication. But you didn't care about all those. You cared about the the social network only, right?
The partner relation, is that social capital?
Okay, and of which two were relevant to social capital, of which two pertain to social capital, including partner relation. What is, I don't know what that is. You see, so if I can't understand what that is, your reader's not going to know. What is that?
So it measures how well is the relationship between parents.
Is that social capital?
It's
I guess
social support, no?
I guess so, maybe. Reviewers might bark at that. And what is the social network? Just saying social network, we need to be more specific.
So is there a family social network? So the social network of their family, of
Okay,
their
but
parents.
I still don't know what that means. Is it like how many people are in their social network? Is it how dense is their social network? Is it?
Let me check.
Okay.
So here.
There we go.
And partner relation is quality of the relationship.
Okay, so there we go. That's fine. Social network. So the extent to which family can rely on support from people in the social environment. So let's go back to the paper and say that specifically. Hang on, focus on a psychosocial measure of family functioning. I just saw that GVL, which to include, we'll call it, and the family's social network. Oops, and I can't write. Capturing the extent to which the family could rely on friends and others in the community for help. I think that's what it said. Go back and look at it one more time. Just want to make sure we accurately capture that. Can rely on support from people, from friends, families, and neighbors. So let's say it's exactly like that. So go back. Okay, could rely on friends, family, and neighbors. Can't write it again, for support. Okay. Yeah, okay, Cornelia, I know I'm maybe repeating myself here, but you see, this is much clearer now. And so when we get down to describing the studies, we can just focus on the studies and we don't have to then, in a confusing way, explain. When we get to explaining the studies, we just want to focus on what the study found without having to go through any multiple moving parts in the studies, explaining, okay, it had this different outcome, it had this different thing, it'll confuse readers. This is a long paragraph already, so I think it should just focus on how social capital was done. So I think that's a complete paragraph now, just like that. And I think we want to make a separate one for toothbrushing behaviors. Most studies employed toothbrushing frequency as the primary measure of oral health prevention. However, several additionally included, it's a little bit slow on remote control. Oops, okay, that's fine. Why is this blue, Cornelia? Is it mad at us for something?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so go ahead and save this. Don't want to lose your work. But you see, don't be afraid either, like I've done, to write and rewrite as you start massaging things in place. Okay, this is looking pretty good now. Let's scroll up and look. So this is now really clear to readers. Okay, I understand what these studies were, kind of the overview. I know how they measure things. Now I'm going to get into, we can delete this. Oh, no, there was lastly the cognitive dimension, which finally, was it 2 studies?
One study.
A final study looked at what is the cognitive dimension of social capital as neighbor. I don't understand.
So there are 2 concepts of social capital according to this study. The cognitive refers to like trust between people, sharing, reciprocity, and for structural social capital is for something that you can observe, like the number of friends, the number of membership organization, something like that.
So
I will show you the
okay.
study.
There you go. Okay, it's not written particularly clearly. Was assessed by them is okay. So their neighborhood connectedness. Do they say any more about that? Oh, go down. Neighborhood connectedness was collapsed into. Oh, they just collapsed it into 3 categories. Okay, go back. All right, it's not the best described. So I didn't really trust that at neighborhood connectedness and membership in neighborhood organizations, which it termed structural social capital, because this is not really standard. They made their own scale. So we're just going to clarify that here, which it termed cognitive social capital. Developed a final study to measures.
But actually, the cognitive and structural social capital is quite common in the literature.
Which is, yeah, but the way they operationalized it was different, because it looked like they did they do a factor analysis to construct a measure neighborhood connectedness and a measure of membership in neighborhood organizations. Okay, good. Now we're clear. Let's get out of this. Okay. So you see, now we don't have to explain this. We don't really have to go into so much detail. Now we can really focus on the aspects of the study without getting bogged down explaining all the measures. So, okay, so back to you. See if you can describe this study here.
So it found positive association.
Yeah. So yeah, so exactly. So write this. They all found positive associations. Why don't you say a little bit about what model it used? Was it a moderate relationship? Say something about what they found. So we want to be specific about the population. We might need to go back to your Excel sheet.
But the population is all children.
So, okay, exactly. There we go.
For all of them, it's children and adolescents.
But they still differ. So I would put this in here. So female students who were first year middle school, female students aged 12 to 13 years in the first year of middle school. Or just say female students aged 12 to 13 years. So there we go. You see where we have among female students aged 12 to 13, just before that.
Sorry?
Hang on. Just here.
Wouldn't it be better if we just generalize that all population are children or not?
Yeah, I know, but the children ages differ. Some are in preschool, right? If they're female students age 12 to 13, the parental measures aren't going to matter very much.
Oh.
So that is a reasonable distinction, right? Because it is quite different if you're looking at preschool versus females 12 to 13. It's worth specifying. Okay, go back though. Let's look at the positive association, what you've got. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Hang on. Let me see if I can grab the mouse here. There was a positive relation. I'm just going to move so I can see. This is good. So I think this is interesting. I found this was. So let's, I want to get that other point in too. It reported first level friends average brushing for so we can be clear as investigated in 2 rounds the impact of this. I don't like this friends is. Well, in adolescence, well. So we're going to clarify this again. There was no significant association with friends of friends. Second order network links. So with her friends, first order network link. So that's fine. I don't think that's an important detail. And then I think that's good. You see, so now people can look at this and we've got much more information out of this study to share. You have 32 studies, so you'll be able to go into detail. Now, these other 4 are all cross-sectional. You won't need to go to that level of detail, but this is probably the highest quality study there is. So I think it's justifiable to spend a little bit more time on it.
Now I'm just scared that it will be a lot.
That's okay. I would rather have too much right now, and then we pare back. Right, and think about it, Cornelia. You extracted so much in your data extraction, more than you need, and then this is the process of science. We're creating order from disorder. So we got everything in all its messiness, and now we're boiling it down to really deliver the highlights and key points and messages that emerge for readers. So that is the flow. I really like the way this is developing, and I hope you can see now that a reader, without having to turn to these studies, can understand a snapshot of what's in the literature.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to try doing this for, let's try doing this now for the 2 studies from Iran. And just make sure to put the name of the colleagues and the year of the study. Here, so try to do this for the 2 studies from Iran. By the way, you considered Iran Asia? Usually it's Middle East.
It's not Asia.
No.
Okay.
Clarify. I definitely want to clarify that, because then it's gonna give the reader is gonna be like, wait a second, Cornelia, where is your geography? Don't worry about that. Yeah, definitely Middle East.
Okay. So this is 12 years old. All of them are 12 years old.
Oh, no, in this one, that's okay. Then that's right. So this was this the same study?
No, it's different. Only this one is the same.
Those 2 are the
This is
same. Yeah,
flossing.
that's the flossing. Okay. So go ahead and say that. 2 studies from Iran, both looked at children ages 12 to 13 in. Yep. And this was both males and females, right?
Yes.
And found what?
And found positive association between.
And found, exactly. So just say that. Found, and what kind of model did they use? Go over and look at your results, which you helpfully described in your extraction.
Logistic regression.
Both use logistic regression. Okay. Good. And go to your results again, the results of these, because you had some nice details in there in your Excel. Hang on. Found, let me just add while you do that. Hang on. Found using logistic regression that both family functioning and friends brushing behaviors had a positive influence on the student's own toothbrushing. Go back to it though. I just want to see if you have any other detail in the results that you've pulled out from your extraction.
Here. But it's a social network variable, not family functioning.
Oh, whoops! I looked at it incorrectly. So we'll change that. But go over like you had for the last study we looked at. You had some more detail in that in your results. There we go. Let's see what it says there. Okay, good. That's in little detail that I think is still nice to say that these didn't really differ by sex. And let's look at the other one. Okay, great. Friends brushing habit. So let's go back and just clarify. So this was and we described it here, the 4 that both peer social network factors and additionally the study of social network factors reported that these positive associations did not differ by sex. Or you could say rather this, or appeared to apply equally to both males and female students.
So that's actually what interaction terms mean.
Yep, that's what the interaction is capturing.
Okay.
Nice. We're almost done with this section. So these are two, and then you've got Netherlands, and I think you've got a Japan one.
Yes.
So let's get, and then you explain this flossing behavior and you're done. And this is okay because this is going to be about half your results section. So let's look at our word count here. That's okay. It's only, we're only going to end up around 600 to 700 words for half your results. And then the next section of your results will probably be about the same, leaving you with a result section around 1,500 words, which is right on target for what we want.
But for access to dental care, there are a lot.
But that's okay.
Okay.
We're going to be able to collapse. We're going to collapse it though, just like we've done here. We're going to do this. It's going to follow the same flow and pattern. So you'll probably use a parallel structure. So here we go. So hang on, Cornelia, let me go back. So here, right, in your next subsection. So let me get rid of this and just help you begin to structure this. I want you to also, as you become aware of these limitations, just to remind yourself, and you'll come back later, just put your bullet points here for now. Need longitudinal studies. There's only one studying children in Iran, and so forth. You just start tucking them here. Then we have our next section where you're looking at access to dental care, and you're gonna have the same structure, right? Overview of studies. Then you're gonna have how they measured social capital, how they measured dental care, and then some substructure perhaps describe the longitudinal studies, then the cross-sectional. That, I think this is what's looking like your structure. So again, I know I labor this point a bit, but the structure to those results is really important. So you've got a really nice structure here. Your big subheadings, access to dental care, and now you have a nice, neat flow within it.
And should I also organize based on country for access to dental care, or will it be too much?
Well, it depends on what you found when you looked at heterogeneity and found patterns. So you may want, in the cross-sectional studies, say, okay, let me look at low and middle income and describe all those, and then let me look at high income. Or maybe you want to look at by age. Maybe you want to look at preschool and then look here at adolescents. So there are different ways. This is why it's really, really important to have a clean structure. And you want to pick these parameters of your results for your subheadings that you think best starts to unpack the differences and variations in the literature, because it tells us something more meaningful about the set of studies you found. And I seem to recall we found some differences on dental care. Did you just kind of eyeballing the data, did you see any patterns emerge here?
That's a little bit confusing again, because I started to extract the types of social capital by their individual variables, and now actually there are not so much association.
Okay, so what would be nice is if you could say, look, studies were more likely to find positive associations under when they were in low-income countries, or when they measured social capital in this way, when they measured individual rather than structural social capital, or vice versa, something to that effect.
So for example, if I organize it based on social network, social cohesion, and social support.
Yeah, that's also a nice way to analyze it. So maybe the social network looks extremely mixed. That looks very, actually, it looks like there's very few positives when you look at the social network.
Yes.
So I think that's nice to say that only X out of Y how many do you have there? That just organize social network and then put the positive. So organize a short result by positive. Let's see how many there were. Oh, you can just filter. So we don't need to make them disappear, but that's okay. So hang on a second. So that, yeah, this is a little hard to calculate, Cornelia. Don't make it disappear. Just go and, yeah, leave that. Let me help you on the Excel for a second. So come back and let's do this, and we'll do sort. Remember, sort, custom sort. We're going to sort the data has headers. Okay. And now let's go ahead and sort by, oops, short result. Okay. So now we'll be able to see. Hang on a second. That didn't go the way I wanted. I don't think I sorted correctly. Hang on. I think it might be, let me see, custom sort. Just headers, groups. No, we don't want that. Short result. Okay. Why is it not sorting? It might be because some things tapped. Okay, I'm not sure why this is not sorting. It should cluster all these together. It might be because you've got this filter here. So I think the easier way to do this, let me get all this off. I think that's what's throwing it off. Let me try one more time. So this should, do you have anything hidden in here?
Sorry?
Do you have anything hidden? Do you have any windows or frames hidden? Because I can also throw it off.
Only the columns.
Oh, you know what? There's two short results. That's what it was. Anyway, I think it's easier here. So which is the one that you had the, what's the heading, Cornelia, for where you had social cohesion or social network? What's
exposure to?
So, okay. Hang on, let me come back. This is going very slow. Where?
Exposure to.
No, I don't see it here.
Yeah, that one. Let me.
No, okay, hang on. No, let me, give me 2 seconds, Cornelia. Let me look here. Where did you organize this? There it is. It's exposure to. Okay. I couldn't hear you. That's so try to organize like this and then add a level and short result. So I got thrown off. I was sorting on this short result, which I think is just there's nothing in that column. So that's why it wasn't doing anything. Okay, now it should have sorted. So now we can count. So let's look. So all the social cohesion, we see in the social cohesion, there's 2 to 24. Social cohesion, you only have 6 out of 24 were positive. Social network looks like.
And in one study itself, it's also, for example,
so social network was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I just lost it. Hang on. Wait, this is still Cornelia. It's still, something's going on. You've got another short result column somewhere that's throwing things off in the sort. I think you might have a hidden, because I'm choosing the wrong short result. Is this?
No, this one, the right one.
Okay, but it's not sorting by short result. Look, let me remove this level. It should sort by this, but for some reason you see here you got short result and short result. I don't understand. Maybe it's this is a short result. Okay, now it's sorted by short result. You have another short result somewhere in there that I don't see. So just check that, because the best way, I see what you're doing before, and that's not necessarily bad. But this is just easier, so it should work now. Let me move this level up and come back to what we had, exposure 2. So now it'll be clearer for us to look at. Okay. So now this is neatly laid out to where we can very easily count. So social network, we found, I mean, it really looks to me that there's not a whole lot here. This is about 1 out of 3. And social support. So, I mean, in general, Cornelia, I think what you're finding here is I don't see a big difference by social support, social network, or social cohesion. That doesn't seem like a very powerful factor. It's interesting to see that these are negative. I think those are going to be some things, the negative studies are going to be interesting to highlight. What's going on there. But you really want to see, you want to structure your results based on what you find, what makes studies more likely to be positive. And I don't see, just on my eyeball look at the data, I don't see this in exposure. If we want to get really formal about it, we could do a regression model. But this all is to say, this relates, maybe you want to look at the different groups and see if you see a pattern there. And if not, maybe there is no pattern, and your big conclusion is that there's not a very powerful association. And maybe your conclusion will be that social capital seems much more powerful for preventive behaviors and less powerful for actual access to dental care. I also think it'll be useful to, here, I think you are going to start seeing some distinction between individual versus structural. So check that as a dimension. And here I'm just going to say find dimensions based on any factor which can help resolve differences.
So for the different conceptualization of social network, social support, and social cohesion, I will leave it, right? Because there's no so much.
I don't see any. To me, it looks like there isn't a whole lot of pattern. Maybe there's a whisper that the social network has a little bit more, about 1 out of 3 of those studies were positive, where the others look like about 1 out of 6 had positive findings. But I don't think that would be significantly different. So keep looking at this, and there are many different dimensions to try, but this is important to specify out. At any rate, don't let that stop you from writing up the overview of studies and how they measure social capital, because as you go through that, it'll give you some additional clues. And go through here and finish Netherlands and Japan. And this is coming together nicely, Cornelia. I anticipate we'll be on, I think you'll be able to wrap this up this week.